Today, the 4 pillars of a successful agency sales system. Everyone talks about the ability to have a predictable and reliable lead generation or sales system, right? That just generates unlimited leads, it closes deals, and most importantly, it's not tethered to the agency leadership. Let me put my mic over here so people can hear me very well. Okay, there, hopefully it's better. So again, everybody who talks about having a sales system or a lead generation system that closes deals and sets them up on a tee, prospect vets them, and it also does not require everything being tethered to the leadership. So today I'm going to cover those 4 pillars, and the first pillar is, the first pillar is lead magnets. Diversify your lead magnets based upon the pain points, and you can double or triple the leads you're getting out of your already existing traffic. Pillar number 2, lead harvesting and a call to action management system. The majority of you are already leaving over 92% of all prospect contact records on the table. You are not engaging with them, you do not nurture them, and you're not going to get any business out of them. Now imagine if you have been harvesting that 92% for the past 2 or 3 years. How many more prospects would you have in your CRM right now? How many more projects would you have coming out of that CRM right now? Those projects equate to revenue and profit. So building that database is absolutely critical, and you do that with lead harvesting and a call to action management system. Pillar number 3, automation and pipeline management. This is so powerful in so many ways, but the superhero of CRM automation and pipeline management is to ensure that you never let another valuable lead fall through the cracks. In industry terms, we call this follow-up failure, and every successful agency I have ever known understood the importance of nurturing every single lead, no matter how big or small. Pillar number 4, real-time KPI dashboard. Real-time KPIs were simply not possible at all for small businesses until about 3-4 years ago. Until then, it took a team of people, literally entire departments of people, to harvest what now can be 100% automated. These 4 pillars are similar to the 4 pillars of brand creation. I'm sure a lot of you out there are familiar with that. Pillars are the huge beams that hold everything up, and that is exactly what we mean here. Each pillar holds up a critical aspect of the sales system, and if one of the pillars fails, all of the pillars will fail along with it. Each pillar is responsible for holding up their end of the weight. Each pillar will have different things relying on its strengths to hold them up as they provide shelter and security under its strengths. I put this in here because, as with all successful businesses, it's all about the entire system. If you're out there and you're attempting to pull one piece from one Facebook group and combine that with another piece you heard from someone else, it's normally not going to work. In other words, if you try to piecemeal this together, I can almost guarantee you that you will be disappointed with the outcome. All systems are only as strong as its weakest link. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're out there and thinking about putting together this type of system for your business. Before I dive into my agency sales system, the 4 pillars of my agency sales system, and kind of show you how effective and how simple it is to use, I want to give everyone a quick definition of what a closed-the-loop sales system is and why all investors, angel investors or whatever, venture capitalists, whatever it is, all investors consider this to be a must-have system before they'll even entertain buying your business. We all understand that marketing and advertising will generate the initial interest, right? It's going to generate awareness, interest, and leads. And then, of course, at that point, when you get that lead, you hand it over to sales, and sales will establish that rapport, that personal relationship, and move forward towards negotiating the actual contract, okay? Whether they won or lost or whatever it is, that is a personal relationship. The problem happens when we attempt to centralize the data between marketing and sales. Historically, there's always been a gap between the two departments. So, if marketing drove a ton of leads and spent $10,000 to get those leads, but when the leads were handed off to sales, not a single one of them purchased, Do you think this would be valuable information to have? I mean, it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science to think marketing would want to run that again. Okay? I mean, why wouldn't marketing run that campaign again? They think they literally just hit the jackpot. But without a closed-the-loop system, meaning you can associate all revenue back to the lead sources, then you would never know this. You would never know that out of those tons of leads you just got, not one of them produced any profit or revenue. You would end up wasting hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost profit and opportunities simply because you could not close the loop between marketing and sales. You could not bridge that gap. There is a wire cut. You're not getting the data you need. So we know why a close the loop marketing and sales system is important. Why doesn't everyone have one? I mean, it's going to show you where your profit comes from without any guesswork. It's going to guarantee to eliminate follow-up failure. And it's also going to vet the tire kickers from the serious buyers. So why don't all small businesses have this type of closed-loop sales and marketing management system in place? There are two primary reasons small businesses and agencies do not have a system like this one that I'm going to show you here today. Do me a favor, in the chat or the QA module, everyone type in what you think those two reasons are, please. Time and tools? Yep, pretty much. That pretty much nailed right there. Thank you very much, Dave. And so, yes, the two things are price tag. First one's going to be price tag, okay? In the past, the only way to get the kind of data we can get in real time now would take an entire staff, weeks to track down the data. They'd create the spreadsheets and then present it to leadership. Literally, and I'm not kidding, literally, entire departments of very smart people did nothing but this all day, every day for their organization. Obviously, that's not something a small business or a smaller agency can afford. It's just simply not, it's not logical, can't be done. And the second reason is going to be technology. As you can tell from my comments on the previous slide, that this was primarily a manual process until a few years ago. With the rollout of cloud-based CRMs about 15 years ago, and now that they have advanced far enough that small businesses and agencies can legitimately set up, manage, and profit from the same powerful powerful marketing systems that until a few years ago were only reserved for big businesses, not small businesses. So the technology has finally gotten to the point that everyone can and should have the power of a true close-the-loop sales and marketing system. Now that this option is available to small businesses, meaning it's affordable, easy to set up, and easy to manage by utilizing cloud-based technologies, let's take a little bit of a deeper dive into those four pillars. Pillar number one, lead magnets. There are two things I want to share with you today about lead magnets. And for the record, I had to distill down the content on this presentation. I literally could have put together a 5-hour presentation on this, or actually I have an 8-hour workshop that I do on this pretty regularly. And so I had to kind of cut a lot out, but I tried to pick the most important things for you. So let me show you the two things that I feel like everyone should know before they leave this webinar today about creating lead magnets. First and foremost, bring the pain. Remind your prospects of why they are on your website in the first place. And if you focus your lead magnets around pain points that your target audience is experiencing at the time they are interfacing with your digital assets. Let me say that one more time. Your lead magnets around the pain points that your target audience is experiencing at the time they are interfacing with your digital assets. You will convert substantially more of the already existing traffic you're currently paying for. The biggest mistake people make is they make their lead magnets around features and benefits. Do not make this mistake. We have a very simple formula that we use in our in that workshop I mentioned a while ago. We have a lead magnet worksheet that we work through on the first day. And when I'm working with my students in rolling out the agency sales system for them in that workshop, In this workshop, we'll work with you on the 4 pillars. While we're working on the lead magnets, we use this formula to define your lead magnet taglines, and it's very, very simple. Bring the pain. Why did they seek out your website in the first place? Remember, they don't just arbitrarily accidentally end up on your website. There was a specific reason, a pain point that drove them to your website. Make sure to remind them of what that pain point is. Be very precise. Do not give open-ended or ambiguous type ideas. Be extremely precise. 5 simple SEO tips to solve your pain today. And today, time-bound. Can it be done in a short period of time? These are the 3 things that they're looking for. They're looking for something, a Band-Aid to put over their pain. It needs to be simple and precise. And they need to be able to get it done pretty quickly because nobody likes to be in pain for a long time. If you focus on that unbelievably simple formula right there, you will be surprised at how many more leads you can harvest simply by bringing the pain. The second thing I want to kind of share with you about lead magnet creations is you need to be able to do it very quickly. Regardless of how good you are, the reality is that the market will dictate what your lead magnets will end up being. So do not get caught up in trying to make your lead magnets perfect or even close to perfect at first. It's so much more important to create a lot of lead magnets, test them out, let the market determine the winner, and then repeat the process until you have 5 to 7 highly converting lead magnets deployed throughout all content on your website, blog, and social channels and everywhere else. We literally have dozens of really killer tools that we use all the time around my offices here and with my first agency that we use to make lead magnets super fast. They look amazing and they're unbelievably engaging. Again, part of the workshop that we go through. Just don't have time right now to show you all of those. So, pillar number 2 is lead harvesting and call to action management system. I have absolutely fallen in love with my call to action management system. If you know what a call to action management system is, throw a comment in chat or questions or comments like that. I'd be interested to see how many of you actually know what that is. This is kind of a relatively newer thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some less advanced type call to action management systems have been out there, but now they have really nailed this. I personally use Thrive Leads, and it's a total game changer. I create templates. I can deploy them in 15 seconds or less to precise pages, post, or pieces of content on a page or a post in a matter of seconds, literally like 10, 15 seconds. Deploy lead magnet here, this paragraph. Check this out. All marketers understand, all marketers understand the value of testing. This is absolutely true in this case. You must hyper-focus your lead magnets to the precise piece of content. Notice I keep saying content, not just page or post. Notice I keep saying content. I'm going to show you why I'm saying that here in just a second. Piece of content you think will increase conversions, and you must also split test what lead magnet tagline converts the best in that specific spot. So let me give you a couple of quick examples of how powerful this is. Now, most of you are familiar with this. This is a pretty common option in WordPress. You can select the page or post you want to deliver your lead magnet content onto. This is also true in Thrive Leads. It's, again, very common functionality. But when you combine it with the ability to do over 10 different types of lead magnets on the fly, and you can determine to the specific paragraph to display your call to action, it's a total game changer as it pertains to delivering your lead magnets to the right person at the right time. The granularity in these types of systems are amazing. And if you're an OG like me, you know that trying to set up split test, and whether it be Google experiments or whatever it is, they're a pain in the ass. So, and of course, you have to split test, everything, and you need it at your fingertips. In this call to action management system, you can literally click a mouse and you're running a split test. No more setting up UTM parameters, no more experiments in Google's, no more third-party apps, no more pain in the ass design. It's literally a grand total of 30 seconds to set up a split test on all lead magnets and call to actions with an agile CTA management system like the one that we use in our agency sales system and the one that we coach you on to use in our workshop. So now that you're going to be harvesting more leads, and I promise you, guaranteed, you will be harvesting more leads if you can deploy the content accurately to the right spots, you test it, and you get those taglines really dialed in with our simple formula and worksheet. So now that you're harvesting a lot more leads, you have to have a way to vet out tire kickers from serious buyers. Small business owners do not have time to chase tire kickers. They need to only spend their time with serious buyers. We have a simple but extremely effective way of ensuring you only spend your time with hot buyers. We call it our thank you vetting form. It is very simple. We bounce them to a quiz type format, and you see that on the left side here with the green bar. That's 33% complete, and we run them through the whole process. And then we ask you some simple vetting questions, and then at the very end of it, we'll ask them for their phone number. That's the blue bar over in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. If they provide the phone number, we know they are hot, and we automatically create a deal in your pipeline. We'll notify you, and we're going to kick off an automated email to provide instant value and to ensure that we have eliminated follow-up failure, okay? So a lot of people are saying, well, why don't you just ask for the phone up front? Well, if you do that, you're crossing too large of a trust gap. And so you get the name and email, then you ask them some vetting questions. If they take the time to answer the vetting questions, then they will give you the phone number. But if you ask for the phone number up front, the odds are your conversions are going to go through the basement because you asked for the phone number too soon. Pillar number 3, automation and pipeline management. Again, automation is the superhero of this whole system, and it will guaranteed eliminate all follow-up failure. But we all know that larger projects require the personal touch. This is one of the reasons my system is also so effective. It recognizes when someone is hot and ensures you are notified on when to begin the rapport or the relationship building phase of the sales cycle. With our object-oriented automated sequences, we actually have 8 of them that go into your CRM. You will eliminate follow-up failure and provide overwhelming value every single time. We set the lead source KPI data. You can see that at the very top left of your screen. Then we email them 3 or more times, depending on what you're comfortable with, in an attempt to get them to schedule a meeting with you. It is all about getting them on the phone with you, hot prospects. Once they do cross the threshold of being a hot lead, then we create the opportunity, and that's the one in the lower right-hand corner there, and notify everyone that needs to be notified. All of this is done via automation, 100%. You do not have to spend 1 second on any of this until they have proven to you, based upon their actions, that they are indeed a hot lead and a serious buyer. Pillar number 4, real-time KPIs and pipeline management. Let me show you the power of a real-time KPI dashboard. I was putting this presentation together, and I was thinking, what am I going to say about, what am I going to say about a real-time KPI dashboard and pipeline management? And then I realized I really don't have to say a whole lot because this dashboard says it all for me. So let me show you what I'm talking about. In the next few slides, I'm going to show you, I think it's 5 out of the over 151 reports that you can use with my system. First one is your opportunity pipeline. That's what you see here on the screen. This graph, this funnel graph right here is on your KPI dashboard, and you can literally just click on any of the colors right there, the yellow, purple, or blue colors right there, and you can manage all contact records and opportunity records directly from your real-time KPI dashboard, saving you a ton of time and, most importantly, keeping everything at your fingertips. Second is going to be leads per day. So every single day, I want to know what my lead flow looks like. Have I, how many, if we got a big campaign going, I want to see that number spike. If we're kind of pulling back, I want a flat line. It's not a bad thing at that moment in time. But I want to know every single day where my leads are coming from, how many I got, and how many are hot. The third one is what we call lead source tracking. Okay. And this one is actually for Google Maps. And this was a campaign we did a few years back. And as you can see, it's generated, 25,000, almost, I guess, close to $30,000 in revenue in sales. And I keep track down to the specific lead source And one of the great things about our system is the fact that it does this automatically. So as long as you apply the right tag, then the system takes care of everything for you. This one is going to be your gross revenue numbers. And this actually is out of my KPI dashboard here. And so I like to know where my gross revenues are on a daily, or actually in this particular case, I got it set up for weekly. But if you wanted to get it down to daily, you could easily do that. You can set it up for monthly as well. All of this is 100% configurable and customizable by you, the agency owner. Number 5 is what I call the top performing lead sources. You see, we set it up so you don't have to worry about the lead source tracking, as I was alluding to a while ago. So again, as long as you apply the right tag, the system will automatically set all of these reports, set up all of these reports and over 140 other reports at your fingertips. Here's a snapshot of my real-time KPI dashboard. I literally took this out of my dashboard here just a few minutes ago. And this is a snapshot of my dashboard. And as you can see, when you combine all of this data into one real-time dashboard, the insights it provides for your agency is an absolute game changer. And I mean game changer for all agency owners who implement and use this type of system.